All right, let's jump right in. We are looking at a situation that could, really change everything. This is a flashpoint that's been decades in the making, and it feels like it's just about to ignite. And that's really the big question, isn't it? Because what we're seeing unfold right now, it's not just some abstract geopolitical game. This is a massive, high-stakes gamble. And the consequences? They could affect every single one of us.
Yeah, the signs are pretty much impossible to ignore at this point. There's a huge military buildup going on. We're talking about hardware, personnel just flooding into the region, and it's happening at a pace that has analysts drawing these direct, frankly chilling comparisons to the eve of the Iraq War. The stage is definitely being set for something big.
So, to really get a handle on how we got to this point, you have to look back. You have to look at history. Because you know what? Sometimes the reasons for going to war, they can be incredibly personal.
Just think back to December 2003 for a second. The journalist Bob Woodward asked President George W. Bush if he talked to his dad before invading Iraq. And this was his answer. Wow, it's such a clear jab, right? It was this public declaration that he thought his father was weak for not finishing the job, for not taking out Saddam Hussein way back in 1991. So when you look at it through that lens, the 2003 invasion wasn't just foreign policy, it was kind of family business. It was a son trying to one-up his father on the world stage, trying to close a chapter he felt was left wide open. And, well, we all know how that story ended.
And this is where it gets really interesting, because some analysts are drawing a direct line from that to what's happening today. The argument is that President Trump is being driven by a similar kind of desire, to be the one, the only one, who finally solves the Iran problem. To succeed where, let's be honest, every president since Carter has pretty much failed. It's a powerful, almost seductive idea for any leader. Okay, but here's the thing. This is exactly where that comparison completely falls apart, and it's where the risks just skyrocket, because this is not 2003. The political world we live in now, it has totally, completely shifted.
When President Bush went to war, he had the wind at his back. A huge majority, 76% of the American public supported the decision. You got to remember, people were still reeling from 9/11. They were persuaded by the claims of WMDs. That is a massive, massive political mandate to do what you're going to do.
Now contrast that with today, it's night and day. The public appetite for another war in the Middle East, it's just gone. You've got almost half the country actively against a strike on Iran, and only a tiny fraction actually for it. So a president in this situation would literally be marching to war against the will of his own people.
And the incredible irony here, of course, is that tapping into this exact anti-war feeling is a big part of what got him elected in the first place. He built his political base by railing against what he called endless wars. So, a conflict with Iran, it would fly directly in the face of one of his biggest promises.
So what does this all boil down to? Unlike Bush, who got the official green light from Congress, a president today would have nothing like that. No public backing, no legislative backing, which means any conflict would be theirs and theirs alone. It would truly be the president's war, with all the personal responsibility that comes with it.
All right, now let's talk about how this connects directly to your wallet, because a war in the Persian Gulf wouldn't just stay over there. No, its shockwaves would be felt at every single gas station right here in America.
And it all comes down to this one tiny stretch of water, the Strait of Hormuz. This is the planet's single most important choke point for oil. Think of it like the jugular vein of the entire global energy market. And Iran, well, they have their hand right on it. So the chain reaction is, well, it's pretty simple and pretty brutal. If a full-blown war kicks off, Iran has made it crystal clear it could just shut down the strait. And if you take 1/5 of the entire world's oil supply off the market overnight, you are looking at an economic catastrophe in the making. It's that simple.
So just how bad could it get? Well, analysis from Bloomberg projects that if that strait closes, the price of oil could leap from around $60 a barrel to over $100. That's a price shock you would feel directly, immediately at the gas pump.
And you know what? There is pretty much nothing American voters are more sensitive to than the price of gas. Study after study shows the same thing. When people feel pain at the pump, they take it out on the party in power at the ballot box. It's like one of the most reliable rules in all of American politics.
So let's just put all the pieces together here. You've got an unpopular war, an economic crisis brewing at home. What you're looking at is a political gamble of frankly historic proportions.
The first thing you'd see is the political fallout hitting the midterm elections. Imagine the country is stuck in a long, costly war, and everyone's paying record-high prices for gas. The odds of the president's party losing control of Congress in that scenario, they become incredibly high. His whole agenda could be paralyzed just like that.
And listen, this isn't just me saying it or some talking point from his opponents. This warning is coming from inside his own party. Republican strategists, they know that the very base that elected Trump on a promise to end foreign wars would feel completely betrayed.
But here's a huge piece of the puzzle. The thinking has also changed on the other side. You see, in the past, Iran often responded to attacks with these sort of calculated, limited counterstrikes. But they've decided that kind of restraint just invites more aggression. So their new doctrine is clear. There is no such thing as a small attack anymore. This quote from a top Iranian security official, it leaves absolutely no room for misunderstanding. A limited strike is a fantasy. What that means is any military action from any source at any level will be treated as the first shot of an all-out war. The tripwire is set. The whole idea of a quick, clean, surgical strike, it's completely off the table. Which brings us to one final, really unsettling question. You have some commentators, both in the US and in Israel, who have openly called for the fragmentation of Iran itself as a strategic goal. So as we watch all these forces gather, we have to ask ourselves, what is the real objective here? Is it just about winning a conflict? Or is it something bigger? Is it about fundamentally redrawing the map of the Middle East, no matter what the cost?